Hello dear teachers, my name is Ledesma Navarro and I will start with my topic, but I am sorry if you hear some noise, but I live in other apartments, so it's a little difficult to have silence. Okay, I will start. My topic is the environment practice. I will start with the purpose. The purpose is not an apply concept in future practice as well as carry out concrete learning. Okay, competence. What is competence? According to Tobon, 2006, competencies are complex performance process with suitability in certain contexts with responsibility. However, for me, the competence is abilities, uh, but in the context or in the spaces, in the different spaces. Competency approach. A competency based that does not exist sub-minister text to which many teachers do not other will leap the rules and the demands of teachers even more this person. So this approach is the most important because with this approach the subjects to be able to understand the concept of competencies and also apply these competencies. Constructivism as an educational approach. For the first point is what's constructivism. The constructivism is a theory in education that recognizes the learning construct new understanding and knowledge integrated with what they already know. An approach by competencies that does not exist except in minister texts, to which many teachers do not adhere will leave the rules of the educational game even more applied on demands of the professional. This is scheme with the competence, demands, and result. And in the middle is action, reflexive action for the constructivism. Okay, project tuning. The project tuning is created in 2004 from Europe. Okay, this is antecedents at the project tuning. The most important is the project tuning is present project to the European Commission. This project is created for the universities and apply the competences in the practices. The practices or with the practitioners. The teaching approaches. But instrumental and interpersonal skills in which cognitive, methodological, technological, and linguistic capacities are standout. Interpersonal competence, individual abilities, such or social skills. These competences are related due to the fact that in the project, addition to applying their linguistic skills, they can also say the project of learning. This project is a trade learning which understands knowledge and with collaboration with the next skills. The first is curricular approach. Is based to ESCUELA Mexicana. And this approach is most formal and is with based the rules this model. The next skill is quantitative approach that this is most personal impersonal and qualitative is most directive for the dates that the subject want to obtain. The next is pre-learning objectives. According to Frola Velasquez in 2016, occurs when is one to be made. Now this recognize the procedures and attitudes that practitioners take into account to carry out an effective practice, and for which the following will be main objectives of the teaching project. For this project, it's most important that this achieve that the practitioner can recognize and apply a format in which it allows him to carry out corresponding professional practice. So in this project is important obtain the learning with a didactic specific field. This project have three different moments. The first moment is when the practitioner make a diagnosis and sequence educative. The second moment is when the teacher interview in the practice, and the third moment is when the practitioners make evaluations on with andamiaje. The next point is diagnosis. What is diagnosis? Diagnosis process through which we know the state of the situation in which someone is in order for intervening, approaching the idea that is a social idea realized in a professional practice according to Lucheri 1998. Diagnosis dimensions. Diagnosis and constructivism. The three basic elements of constructivism is the dimension to learn, the level of evolutionary development, and finally the previous knowledge. This is important, which cover a classroom context according to Lucheri. The next is a level of development of evolution. According to Lucheri, dimensions are developed from stadiums in an intuitive, empirical, and informal dimension equivalent to 7 to 8 years is when the children recognize the material. 9 to 10 years is when the teachers mark the mother, and the next is 11 to 12 years is when the children can recognize the waiter. The next is the dimensional education of educational planning. This is types of the social dimensions. The social dimension is when use the social character, and when the rules with obviously the project programs is based in these project programs. The next is technical dimensions. In this dimension is when use the knowledge and organizers about the technology and science. The next is politic dimensions. This is with based the marco jurídico. And the next is cultural dimension. Is when the plan is affected by cultural by a cultural context, something like that. Prospective, dimension is when make news realities. The next is evaluation competence. Site competence are oriented towards responding to society based on previous learning carried out in the classroom, which in what director relates to these points. Didactic sequence. A didactic sequence is characterized by organization of learning situations. I'm sorry. Of learning situations. Writing according to Barriga 1984. Okay, the I'm sorry. The didactic sequence is important for the practice because if they aren't made, is a little complicated. Have a sequence, have a plan. Okay, pedagogical model. For the reflection on the practice, the pedagogical tools of the instruments are considered necessary so that reflection can be carried out in the practice, and in this way to be able to give each example with it to remembering that argumentation is key for the reflection on the practice. Okay, reflection. I'm sorry. The reflection of practice refers to evaluation approach that focus on developing and improving people's talent of to face the challenge of knowledge society by understanding problems of the context and collaboration according to Bond 2018. This reflection is important for the practice because when the practitioners finally the practice have reflections for major in the next practitioners in the next practice. I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, conclusions. In my practice, I can to apply the concepts with my didactic and with my theory, with the process that obtained results about the objectives. So it's very important to know about the wide how are the elements for the practice. So it's my practice. It's a little complicated, but it's a good experience. The next is reference. Thank you for your attention. See you. Thank you.